Hello YouTube, I hope you're doing well and Trendless is back. This time we gotta check out the new BYD Seal in Germany. I hope you enjoyed this video and we're gonna check it out. I wanna thank first of all BYD at Balindam in Hamburg for making this opportunity possible and showing you this absolutely gorgeous EV. We're gonna go for a quick walk around so you can see the car from all directions. I love the black color, it's totally fitting the car. There's also gonna be some driving in a bit. And we are going to move into the interior now. So, welcome in the inside of the BYD. As stated outside and as you saw, the car is black on the outside and it's also black in the inside. We got an absolute massive panoramic roof, which is also protected from UV light, and it's apparently not getting that hot during the sun times, and it absolutely is massive. It looks gorgeous. It absolutely looks gorgeous. Also, the materials inside feel very, very, very good. There is not a single bit of sound while driving, and I really must say I love the seats. I love the seats in the front. They're giving a very, very good hold and you feel super, super stable about it. Also, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, everything is on board nowadays. They updated that a few weeks ago. You got an absolutely amazing head-up display. I can go a bit closer, you can see the quality. It is really, really good, the head-up display. I cannot say it in any other way. Also, I do love, and I'm kind of missing that in a lot of cars nowadays, physical buttons. You actually have physical buttons. It's amazing. I kind of missed it with all the newer cars nowadays, so that's really great to have. Here we have the gear lever, parking, and so on. If you don't like the screen like this, I think it's a very cool feature. You can press on this button and it goes sideways, which I prefer much more because you don't lose the view over this area over here. Other than that, you also got two wireless charging ports, USB on the bottom, and a hell lot of space. Maybe I can show you. Very, very nice. A USB-C, USB, a lot of space. Cup holders here. Also, you can put the key inside here. You have massive space. Everything feels really, really good. And the screens are nice. Now, again, it might look a bit dirty, but it has been used quite a lot. It's a test drive after all, and you can clean it up, of course, very easily. But the seats feel very nice. You can sit very well on it. And now we're gonna move onto the back of the car and see how the seats are in the back, because I have only sat in the front now. And let's check it out. Moving to the back. I'm just gonna quickly move my stuff over here. Sit down. How does this look? Oh, there's a lot of space here. Also, seats are kind of like with the Golf, a bit inside to the back, so you have a very, very nice sitting position. I am 1.81 meters. We have a massive, this seat is for me right now. This car is actually really big, and look how much space I have. It's incredible. Now, I think this would be very good for 4 people overall, but just like most other cars, the fifth person does have a bit more space here, because obviously you're missing the part that goes up here, so that's very, very nice. There's also a bit of the ambient light, which you don't see at day because it's not that strong that much, but honestly it doesn't matter. It looks beautiful. It's a nice little feature. Let's see how far the windows go down. Oh, they nearly go down completely. Now that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Also, I love the look of the seats. You can have also more storage space here for phones and here for something bigger. Now we're gonna move on to the back so you see the trunk as well, which is probably the biggest weakness of the car. Since it is a sedan, you tend to have only very small space or trunk. Also got the charging cable in here. It's 400 liters. It's not too bad. You can, after all, use the put the back seats down so you have a pretty big area, but putting the trunk is very small. That's the biggest downside so far I noticed from the car. Picking something bigger or up into it is going to be a bit harder, but other than that, very, very nice. Let's see if it closes. Okay, good. Now we're gonna move over to the drive, and I hope you enjoy the experience just like me. So guys, welcome to the ride, and let's see how this goes. Very silent, very smooth. Camera, you can see it's very nice. 360 camera, very, very good. And let's go for a ride. So first thing I notice I mean, obviously it's an electric car, so it's gonna be silent, but it still astonished me how silent this overall, the whole machine is. You can hear only a tiny bit of kind of a zooming in the background, but minimal, and now it's completely gone. The suspension is really, really good. It's really comfortable, but at the same time I can put it pretty stiff and I feel like I'm connected to the road. In all honesty, feels really, really soft, smooth. You kind of feel protected in a way, and I like that. We're gonna put the AC on level 2. Or level 1 is enough, I think. Yeah, that's good. Again, as I showed earlier, if you press this button, you're gonna move the screen upwards. Some people prefer it like this way. I prefer the other way. I like it like having it horizontally instead of vertically. But it feels super smooth. Even bumps out here in Hamburg, we do have some bumpy roads. It feels very, very smooth and not disconnected at all. So that's very, very nice. Even here we got a few more bumpy roads. Nothing, you don't hear cracks, something. Everything is very, very well maintained. It looks, the quality inside looks amazing, especially if you consider the price. And we're currently running on eco mode, which means we have reduced engine power. But honestly, in this area here, we don't really need more right now. You can feel the ground again, but it's still very, very comfortable, and you feel like very well connected to the road. The steering wheel feels rather comfortable right now, but you can also put it into sport, as far as the guys from BYD showed me. Good, now we're in normal mode, which of course makes the car respond a bit more, and at the same time it all feels a bit like sportier. You can also go on full sport mode, which we are now, and now we have the full power at our capacity, and at the same time the steering feels way sharper. Can you hear the noise in the background? That's actually a diesel pickup behind me. We're also sitting in the Excellent model, which means we have 520 or 530 horsepower, which as an EV obviously feels crazy. I think I don't need to tell you how crazy that feels. Now we can actually go straight. And 50. It's crazy. That wasn't even full throttle. The acceleration is very strong, very potent if you want to. But at the same time, I do like the idea of BYD that if you put eco mode and so on, even if you go full on the throttle, the car is way more relaxing, which is kind of nice in the city area. where you don't want to accelerate very quickly, unlike on a highway or on the outside roads. So far I'm really impressed. And remember, this car is around about 50k as a new price, 50,000 euros in Germany. Now that's still a lot of money, we don't need to talk about it, but for what you get offered, it's crazy. Like, I also put the recuperation on full, so I don't know if you see it here from that angle very well, but we do get recuperation and it brakes very soft. Still good enough. So in the end, it's not a one pedal drive. You need to brake for yourself, but it does brake very consistent and smoothly down, and I kind of like that once you go from the gas. Now I'm gonna switch again to Eco for now. And even then, if you need to go somewhere, it's still enough acceleration. Like, it's not a bad acceleration at all. It's crazy how quiet it is. I mean, I'm not used to driving EVs that often. The last time I drove a Nissan Leaf, but it is extremely quiet and kind of crazy actually. The ride comfort super smooth. We've been driven for quite some time already. We just lost 1% of the battery. And remember, the place where I started the video wasn't even the final, my starting locations. So that's pretty good. And 50. Crazy. That was with Eco. And you could still feel the punch. If you go full throttle, you could still feel the punch. Now, I didn't pay attention to the kilowatt, aka horsepower ratio, so if it reached full, but the punch was definitely there. What else can I say about the car? Again, besides the smooth ride. I also must say the infotainment system works very, very fast. It responds super quickly. And the voice command is also very good. It is in German because we are in Germany. So, but basically what I'm gonna say, for example, now is put the climate control off. Hi BYD, mach die Klimaanlage aus.
Okay, ich habe die Klimasteuerung ausgeschaltet.
Climate control off. Very, very good. Hey BYD, schalte die Klimaanlage auf Stufe 1.
Okay, ich habe den Lüfter auf 1 geändert.
That is really, really impressive. I told the car that he should put the AC on level 1. Like, you have these multiple levels, and it instantly did it. Radio, obviously. Everything super fast. Infotainment system, what you need. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as I said already. Overall, a very smooth system. Now I'm actually interested. We're gonna go once into sport and gonna do a little acceleration to 50 after the light. I hope my camera is holding. If not, you will notice. Oh, we actually need to go to the right. We need to go to the right. We cannot go 50, it's only 30 allowed. Camera also really, really cool. 360, one, if not the best camera I've seen on the market so far. Again, I only know from basic Audi and VW models, but the camera system is really, really good for parking. Also, park assistant and so on. And also, one thing you cannot really see, but it's absolutely amazing, like the quality is super good, is the head-up display. You don't have one of these. With some head-up displays, you have this super ugly like window in front of it. You don't have that here, and it's great. Really, really cool. super sharp. You have no annoying extra window in between it. Crazy. Camera is holding though, very, very good. But that was crazy. The punch is really there. The cooperation works also very, very good. I like it. Suspension overall, fantastic feeling. Also like the interior design. It kind of is unique to something else, and I like that a lot. I've said in already like something like a Tesla Model 3, and I don't like this minimalistic design too much. I prefer much more something like this. Also like that you have 2 inductive charges, wireless charges here. Really, really good. Overall. Sound system. Obviously I'm not gonna put copyrighted music on now, but I did test the sound system. And apparently people said it's too silent, but the DIN audio works very well. It does have some bass and it can be really, really loud. I did not put it on full strength because otherwise I would have most likely lost my hearing. It is very loud. Also, over-the-air updates came in. For somebody who never really drove an EV longer than like 20-ish minutes, I must really say what BYD brought here is an amazing car. It feels really, really good. Now to the charging planning. If you type in a route into the navigation system, it will show you on the way available charging stations when you need to charge. And also it does it very rapidly. Like again, the infotainment system, the processing unit in this whole system is super fast, super responsive. It doesn't take long. I can also say like, hi BYD, ändere das Ambient Light auf lila.
Umgebungslichtfarbe wird auf lila eingestellt.
Okay, basically he said now he changes the ambient lighting, which you don't see because, or not strong because it is of course daytime. But basically you see it, it's now purple. I told him to change it to purple and he did. Very, very good. Although noticed out of the angle, a few people are actually looking at the car, like they have not really seen a lot of them. It's still a rather new brand here. We're averaging a consumption right now of, what does it say? Let's see, 20 kilowatts. To be fair though, I don't know if this is the accurate value or not. I still need to see. I actually asked the car if it can show it to me because I'm not sure where to find it right now. Hey BYD, zeige mir den momentanen Verbrauch an.
Diese Funktion wird noch nicht unterstützt.
Ah, he said this function is not available yet. Okay, well, we can go to... Oh, you can also go for intelligent charging. You can say when you should stop charging. Okay, let's go here. We'll find it at the next traffic light. Let's go over here. I also like the mirrors. They're pretty big for a sedan, so that's pretty cool. Ah, there we go. Last 50 kilometers. Oh, not last 50 to be exact. This is for 100 kilometers, 20 kilowatts right now. It could be way lower probably, but again, I don't know what the last person did with the car. We have driven it right now for roughly 20-ish, 25 kilometers. I don't know how long we actually driven it now. But we still only lost 2% battery, and I've been driving it for nearly an hour already. Before the video, I also drove to a space where we could activate the video. So, all in all, I have a really good driving experience here. I feel very nice connected to the road. Also, there's the TV tower. I don't know if you can see it from the camera angle, but there's the TV tower of Hamburg. Very, very unique building. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Again, guys, I know I've driven a few cars already in my life, different ones like Audi S4 and so on, but that was like a few years ago. Multiple Mercedeses and so on. But being again in the car kind of like spotting business and trying to show off what current EVs can do and so on is a completely new thing for me, because I'm used to petrol engines, as you know. I'm driving myself a Golf GTI MK 7.5. But what BYD brought here for that price in today's time, you gotta remember, like, modern cars are like, all the newer cars are extremely expensive. It's kind of crazy how much a new Golf 8 costs nowadays, or starts. It is crazy. Super comfortable ride, but at the same time, if you go sporty, very stiff suspension as well possible. Acceleration feels crazy. Of course, an EV, but overall a very firm and solid ride. So far, really, really impressed. Unfortunately, we can only test it here in the city. That's why I can't really like go crazy on the acceleration, because obviously we don't want to break any laws. But it's super smooth and relaxing to drive for the city. What else can I say? It has also really good... I saw the LED lights in the parking garage where we picked it up with the BYD employee. And I must say, light quality, very, 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 very good. Also, I do like the heck lighting design, even though that's just the design point of view. And the space. The only real thing, in my honesty, because I do love sedans, but the only real downside of the car for me is the trunk. The trunk is too small. I wish you could open it with the glass part, or make it at least bigger. But I do know why it's not possible with the glass part. That's definitely because of the massive panoramic roof. Let's put the aircon off. How do I turn it off actually? Hi BYD. Klimaanlage aus.
Okay, ich habe die Klimasteuerung ausgeschaltet.
That's also one topic, by the way, since it's completely silent right now. Now, you barely hear anything. It's very... I don't know if it has double-proofed glass to the side, but it is very... Like, you hear the outside, but it's definitely better than my Golf, for example. It is very, very, very silent. It's crazy. I actually see a few people looking at the car. Like, it's still something new for them here, the brand itself. Also, one thing they showed me, with the over-the-air updates they had with the BYD, you can also now, for example, with the new EU regulations, you have sound when you drive too fast, and they put a shortcut on it, so it's super easy to turn that annoying sound off if you go 1 kilometer over the speed limit, or if it shows some wrong speed limits and it's actually not the true speed limits right now. By the way, in front we have a Tesla Model 3 in comparison. I do like the BYD looks more. I really do like it more. suspension is really working well here. It's a very tough road actually, or not a very nice road indeed. Hope you enjoyed the last few minutes of this test drive. I'm just gonna stop talking now and enjoy. Must say also the materials. Of course you have some plastic on the bottom here, but that's with most modern cars nowadays. But the rest feels really, really good. And I also want to say one more thing. The seats. The seats are absolutely amazing. I must say, the seats are absolutely amazing. They're so comfortable. You feel like you have a hold to the side, left and right, and they will, even if you go with tight corners or with faster paced driving, they will put you in a safe spot. Let's go normal again. Steering wheel feels also very nice. Again, before I end the video in a bit and go over the rest of the topics, I want to say one more time thank you to BYD at Balendam here for making this possible, to see if an EV would actually suit me from the driving experience. Now when it comes to charging, it can go up to a peak of 150 kilowatts. So what BYD states, I think, I'm not exactly sure about the number, but I think they say in around 30 minutes, or was it 35 minutes? I'm not sure right now. It goes from 20 to 80%. And remember, you do have the LFPs in here, so the car doesn't really mind it if you put it onto 100% sometimes. And it's actually even recommended, as far as I know. The range is said to be, with the all-wheel drive system here, is apparently on 520 kilometers an hour. Kilometers in total. If you can reach it, I think it highly depends. But one thing what people need to realize, effectively it's gonna be less on the highway. But I feel like one thing that people not really put into account too much is how good and efficient EVs are in the city. They always look like, okay, we need to go in a longer range. We need to go a longer range journey. And say, yeah, but I need to charge the car every 400 or 450 kilometers again. But it's crazy. Like, we have driven this car now for over an hour, and having the climate control on and off and so on, and accelerated a few times. And we barely lost more than 2% of the EV's energy. So that's very, very impressive. We also got the consumption a bit down to 19.8 kilowatts. Again, I don't know how much I effectively consumed over the last 40-50 kilometers we drove. But for that kind of stuff, you need to go more into the topic. We didn't have the time for that now, but I still want to thank BYD for making this possible. Once in the future, when we get more used to like working with other partners and seeing how the whole low recharging and so goes, we have a bit more of an experience. But from the driving perspective, the comfort level, and the whole smoothness of the car, absolutely amazing. Feels great. This car feels really, really good. And considering the price in 2024, I could get a week. I'm not denying it. Like, it felt super smooth to ride. It also felt, if you wanted to drive a bit faster, it felt really good. Quality is pretty good. Looks is very, very good. Only downside for me is the trunk. The trunk is the only downside for me. So, thank you guys for watching. It really means a lot to me. This was the first car review that was possible. And again, thank you BYD Ballendam to making this possible. Thank you for giving me an idea how the EV world works today. That's very, very nice. And all I gotta say now is thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good one. Please follow, like, subscribe if you like this little tour. Have a good time and bye bye, you trendless.